The 40 Lessons Podcast is a Shining Starlet Entertainment production.
Time for another week of life, love, and everything in between on the 40 Lesson Podcast. Welcome to another week of the 40 Lesson Podcast, where we talk about life, love, and everything in between. It's your boy Dumisani.
And it's your girl Tori Strick.
Man, sitting beside me today, we got our first guest. You the first guest on the 40 Lesson Podcast.
Is this PG?
Is this PG? No, man. It's good. It's good.
Shit,
that's what's up. Exactly. There you go. Go ahead and live a little bit. Go ahead and live a little bit.
All right.
Today's guest of the 40 Lesson Podcast, David Girton, the help deck coach of LiveNow Fitness. You can get in touch with him and find out about his product and services at livenowfitness.com. Man, sitting here to my right, man, one of my big bros for a minute now. Me and Girton known each other for a while now.
My man.
He's been responsible for the weight when it wasn't there. He ain't responsible for the weight that is here. I just want to make that clear.
Right.
But my man David Girton, the help deck coach of LiveNow Fitness, man, go ahead and tell people a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm David Girton, the help deck coach of LiveNow Fitness. We've been around for about 11 years or so. We focus on wellness, but not just the losing weight aspect.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's everything. Wellness, mind, body, and soul. So as we were talking about earlier, we're not what you consider a gym.
My man.
Right? We're a wellness studio.
Okay.
So we focus on the whole person. So it's mind, body, and soul.
Man, we're going to get into that a little bit later in the segment, man. Gert sitting in with me and Tori today. Man, we do this thing called, I'll let Tori tell you what's up.
We do this thing called This is America. Where
right,
we talk
man.
about some current, interesting, trending, interesting is,
It's relative, right?
topics that are going on. And today we are talking about...
We talking about my boy Jesse back in the news.
Jesse in the 60s.
Gert, you know about Jesse? What he got going on?
I'm just hearing it.
So let me give you a synopsis of what's popping off with Jesse. First of all, Jesse was going to get some Subway for some odd reason at 2 o'clock in the morning in the cold streets of Chicago.
It ain't no odd reason.
Okay, odd to me to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning
All
in
that good
Chicago.
food in Chicago.
You go in the Subway.
Right.
I don't understand why. I don't go to Subway when the sun is up, so I don't understand why anybody would go to Subway at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe he was smoking weed.
Okay, that's a possibility.
If you said White Castle, then I would.
White Castle, I'd have been with my man.
Yeah.
Ain't no White Castle in Chicago. I don't
Absolutely, there is. Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Yes,
Holla
there
at your
is.
boy,
Was he on Martin
Southside
Luther King?
Chicago.
I lived on Southside Chicago, East 42nd and South Shore Drive. So where was he?
I got pictures from the White Castles.
Where was he?
I don't know where he was, but I'm just saying.
All right.
So let's get back to these. Let's get back to Jesse. Tori. So what you'll find out throughout the show is
Don't do it.
Tori is like my Google. So she keeps she keeps me whatever I say.
It's gonna be
Googled to verify. That's what Tori is here
Because
for.
we got to
before it hits the streets.
So see, unlike the
That's
other
what's
dude
up.
that sits at 600 Pennsylvania Avenue, I get to tell no lies on this show. It don't even go down like that. So you can bet that everything said here is the truth. So back to Jesse and his 16 counts, man. So I'm just shocked at how fast Chicago Tori has moved on this indictment with Jesse. I mean, like, well, how long was it with the Laquan McDonald thing that we went round and round with Chicago?
Oh, gosh.
And we watched the man shoot the kid at Burger King 16 times, but they couldn't figure that out in less than 2 years. We ain't been talking about Jesse for 30 days. This boy about
to be, yeah.
What's up with
yeah.
that? Talk about that.
Well, I think ultimately it belongs in the realm of the of the prosecutor, right? So it's not Chicago. I guess we could argue the prosecutor represents the city of Chicago,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, we can certainly
Cook
argue
County.
that.
Cook County. I'm sorry. My bad.
The joys of the Windy City. Politics of the Windy City. We all know what it is at its core. We know that it's ultimately a matter of you got black men getting shot versus let's go ahead and before we formally indict this black gay male.
Exactly.
So,
now,
we know how that goes.
It's crazy, I'm not defending, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending anything Jesse done. If Jesse has broke the law, I'm a taxpaying, African American in this country. I believe people should be upheld, to the rules of the law as they subjugate.
Whatever. I'm not here for it.
Well, I'm just saying. If he did something wrong, I think that should be talked about. I also think there may be some mental issues going on there with Jesse that we might need. People are not paying any attention to, and I want to make sure that the brother's being serviced all the way through and not just in being ramrodded through the justice system.
What makes you think he has some mental health issues?
I don't know. If you make up a story about if the alleged thing is true, that this story did not happen the way that he said it happened, that's a cry for help, in my opinion. Something is something is disconnected there that I would go through such lengths. That was not no small story. That wasn't a text message. That wasn't a fake phone call. That was an acted out portrayal of an attack.
It was a crime.
If it was a crime, we have not proved that. We have not seen that.
Well, if he's
yet.
lying, it's a crime.
If he's lying, he lied about the crime that happened, and that's my point. That's what help is, in my opinion.
So everybody who commits a crime needs mental health assistance?
I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that
in this
particular case,
and I'm trying to understand what specifically has manifested emotionally, psychologically, in his particular case, that leads you to start down the road of diagnosing that he might have a mental health issue. I'm trying to understand what particular.
A common sense is making that happen for me today.
He lied.
Okay, I understand.
Everybody lies. Men lie, women lie.
Yeah, but lies have different levels to them.
Oh, they do.
And I think this is a very extravagant lie. Yeah, this is deep. This lie is not just.
It's actually not that extravagant.
Okay, well, I guess let me say it from my perspective, in my opinion. We can definitely, and I can understand that we can be on two different sides of the coin as far as that goes. As a man, I couldn't have thought of this story if it wasn't told to me in the paper the way it was described. I could not have done this to myself just for the sake of doing it, or to bring about some type of attention to whatever the mantra or the awareness he was trying to create with this lie in the beginning. I would hope there was something he had an objective for in the lie in the beginning.
Because he wasn't getting paid comparably to his co-stars, is what I recall the issue being.
And I'm still trying to figure out how what happened to him, allegedly happened to him, connects to him getting a higher check on Empire. For me, I have not made the connection. So that says something is off emotionally or something for me. And I'm not a psychiatrist, don't get me wrong. That's not my lane of coaching. That's not what I do. I'm not here to clinically diagnose anyone. I just think we have
to be very, very careful.
And we can be careful.
Because we walk down the road of mental health quite often, and we don't have any sort of specific criteria. So he made up a story to make himself more popular. The more popular you are in the media, and if you're on a show, you make more money. It's really actually a very simple correlation. The thing that doesn't when people people do publicity stunts all of the time. That's why it's called a publicity stunt. And people who do publicity stunts tend to attract more attention, and the more attention that you attract, the more traction that you get to whatever it is that you're working on, and you tend to become more popular, and your money tends to increase as a result of that. So I'm simply saying I don't think the correlation is that far off. My concern is when we start talking about, if we're talking about a truly diabolical sort of scenario, then I could see us walking down the road of mental health concerns. But this actually wasn't that diabolical. Truthfully, when you actually look at the lie, it was a lie like when you're a kid. You lie about something, you don't want to tell the truth, you cover it with another lie and then another lie. It really wasn't that complicated or diabolical. He just didn't know how to back out of it. I mean, think about when people cheat. I have seen more complicated lies when people are cheating on their spouses or girlfriends and boyfriends than this was. So I'm just saying, be careful.
We ain't gonna solve this today.
I'm just saying,
and I know I've lied and cheated. It didn't involve bleach and nooses. That's all I'm saying. And
you don't think it was diabolical though?
No, I don't think it was diabolical.
We're gonna have to come back and agree to disagree on that one. I think he missing.
We can absolutely agree to disagree.
Something is missing for me in this story.
The truth.
But that was. That's why we talk about this stuff. That's why we talk. It was definitely extra. At a minimum, it was extra. Yeah, it was definitely that. So but man, that's a perfect segue, Dave, into why you here. Oh yeah. It's a perfect segue into why you here for me. You know what I'm saying?
40 Lessons, a coach for life. For life coaching services, contact Dumisani Solwazi at thereal40lessons@gmail.com. That's thereal40lessons@gmail.com. lifenowfitness.com.
You just spoke about, being a wellness studio that takes care of the mind, the body, and the soul.
Absolutely.
And which, from my opinion anyway, some of all of which was troubled by the young man at that moment. And, so let's move into the help desk coach and what that is, man. I want to tackle a couple things with you this afternoon while we chatting, man. One, man, I got to give you props because I just respect your business hustle. You know what I'm saying? As one brother to another, I always admired the way you do your business because I always said, man, everything Gert do feels like family. It's like it's easy to hang around your environment. It's easy to watch the people rock with you. You know why they rocking with you. Can you talk about that for a minute? How that became kind of like whether you set out for it to be your business philosophy or not. That might be up for question. But it's definitely the culture and what you do at LiveNow Fitness. So can you talk about that?
I mean, it's a part of where I grew up.
Okay.
Right?
And where is that?
I grew up in the south side of Indianapolis.
Oh, man.
And everything was about community.
Okay.
Community. So I took that from there to the military, where the military is about community.
Air Force, right?
Yeah, Air Force.
Yeah.
Aim high, all that good stuff.
Yeah, he wasn't in the Navy, but we still cool.
No doubt. we need y'all to get us places sometimes.
Exactly.
But community through the Air Force, coaching basketball, all that stuff. Working with the junior ROTC, mentoring those kids. We develop community, and then on to playing basketball, that community. So when it just was a natural progression with me and my business.
Gotcha.
And community and wanting to have that feel. It's a part of me and my friendships. It's a part of me and my family. Community. And that's how we win. It's through community. I mean, it's who we are as a culture. Absolutely. If we really get back to it.
And that's crazy that you said that because, when I sat down with, I took this, I did a leap about, doing the podcast. One of the things I told her, I said, one of the interesting things I want to make sure we do is collaborate with the other dope people that we know doing stuff. I say one thing I don't think we do well as a culture all the time is cross-platform with each other. It's like...
And that's how we win, though.
But that's how we win, but we don't... I'm like, why is it that if I'm doing something, I wouldn't bring Gert on what I'm doing. If Gert doing something, he do the same. Or if Tori got something going on, which Tori got something going on, and everybody got something going on.
Every culture does it. Let me tell you a story. So when I was in the soccer dome. I was at a big soccer facility for two of them for a lot of years.
Okay.
So when I went to get my first location about 5 years ago, the landlord, come to find out, he was a Jewish cat. So he's taking care of everything. And I mean, he would hit me up every day with somebody. Hey, you need somebody to do your website? Hey, you need somebody to do your plumbing?
He had somebody, you need somebody for everybody.
And everybody that called me was Jewish.
Absolutely.
Right?
You're trying to keep that money in the neighborhood.
They keep that dollar in the neighborhood.
And I ain't mad at them.
No, you can't be. Every other culture does it.
Asians do it. I think
the Latin community does it big time.
I think we only keep our money in our area 6 hours is what they say in our culture. The African American dollar circulates.
Is it that long?
I mean, that was the last time I checked, but we just had daylight saving time, so it might be
5.
It might be 5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It might be 5, man.
Right.
So I really dig that piece about about how you got your business, how you do the family-oriented thing with the business. Tell us more about the help desk coach. I saw you flip to that a little while back, and I was like, now, because I remember we was rocking, we did green for a minute. We still digging green?
Yeah, still digging
still
green.
Eating vegetables all the time, man.
Absolutely. My boy calls me grass.
He called you grass?
He called me grass.
I had some fruits and vegetables today. I had some pineapple juice from the Amish market.
Okay.
And
we had to check that out.
We had to check that out.
Because I don't know about all that stuff down there at the Amish market.
See, we don't tell Gert what we eat and drink, because Gert gonna go find out if it's healthy or not. Then he gonna see you in
It's pretty clean. But pineapple juice has a lot of sugar in it in general. So.
Oh, y'all just
I just don't, I went down.
I thought I was doing good.
No, I went down.
It's better than the Coke.
It's definitely better than the Coke. I thought all their vegetables and stuff were organic. I thought they actually came from like
the Amish farm.
An Amish farm.
That's not really happening.
Or something. I asked the question.
Right.
I asked the question. They were like, "No, we ship these from Florida."
Oh man, you just shattered a whole bunch of dreams and grocery lists right now.
They can only grow so much in the middle of PA.
Well,
right?
Sure
absolutely.
So.
I'm sure they. But is the Florida people Amish?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I don't know for sure, but I would
research on that.
Yeah.
Maybe the Amish has went to Florida. I saw they got a couple shows on TV now, so they moving around a little bit. So I just report what I see, brother. I don't make this stuff up. It's out there. So go break down the help desk coach. What are you doing with that?
So the help desk coach, that came from actually a coaching call. I
Okay.
was actually doing a video call with a client.
Okay.
And we were talking, and somehow or another, the conversation moved to like building up a health debt, and I was like, oh shit, I like that.
There we go.
Health debt, and that's really how it was born. That we all either build a profitable health, or we build up some sort of debt, and that's with every choice that we make. Every bite, every drink, every not day going to exercise, we build up a debt, or we build up a
and it's like a FICO score for your body, basically, is what you basically saying.
Oh, now I want to hear the ranges.
You want to hear the ranges?
Of course.
I haven't come up with the ranges yet.
Oh,
I like that though.
If you say FICO score, I'm immediately.
I did that though.
Because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, am I like a 400 right now? What do we do?
I'm thinking like it would be based upon the calories that you intake, whether you're getting your recommended vegetables, grains, protein, how much water you drink. I'm thinking these would be the calculations.
They would definitely have to be factors.
The physical activity,
Yeah, and then the mental aspect, because as I've traveled through this industry, like the mental aspect is probably the biggest part. The fitness industry focuses so much on the exercise piece, and that's what you see at the beginning of the year. You see all these people go gangbusters and they head to the gym because they're focused on the physical piece. But if they don't have the mental piece in place
to endure what they're about to go through, right?
It's what is it, March now?
Yeah.
70 to 80% of the people that started at the new
year, they fell off at Valentine's Day.
They done.
Yeah, right.
They done, and that's because they didn't have the mental.
As soon as they took them out to dinner and they got that meal, they was like, "Oh, I'm eating this steak tonight."
Yeah. And then you go through that year after year after year.
What was that, Tori?
They're not fundamentally addressing the issues that have caused them to overeat in the first place.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
For example, for me, I eat feelings, or I used to eat feelings, and so until I sat down and said, "Okay, how are you feeling? Why are you feeling this way?" Feel the feelings, experience them. I would eat them, or I would drink them. We talked a little bit about this before.
We talked about that. Yeah.
But if we don't ever say, okay, here are the feelings, I feel sad or mad or whatever, we just go and eat them. We start off with great intentions.
But you're on autopilot.
Right.
You're on autopilot.
Right.
You
unconscious
something happens, you get triggered by something,
Yes.
and then boom, you come in the door and you don't even think about it. You got a bag of chips and a soda, and it's just a part of who you are.
Unconscious eating.
Unconscious eating.
Wow.
Unconscious behavior in general.
So then break down. So then let's bounce off what Tori was just talking about there, right? So eating feeling. It's kind of like a mental thing, right? So something mentally.
Not kinda. It is.
It has went to a place, right? So talk about that, Dave.
I mean, it could be some type of childhood trauma. That's the whole thing. That's where Tori mentioned journaling. Like, I really encourage people to journal and really get into what you're feeling in that moment. And you can more than likely be traced back to something that happened when you were young, or a relationship. You know, you broke up with somebody and you ate your feelings away. It can be traced back to that. But what we don't do is we don't dig into that. And that's where the magic happens, is when we dig into that, what we're really feeling.
Magic is a great word, because it's absolutely it's transformational. It is absolutely magical. It is
like a switch goes off once you figure it out.
A switch might be an oversimplification, just because of the nature of the dig, especially depending upon how long you've held on to the trauma. But I do think that there is a switch that happens when you understand the difference between conscious and unconscious eating.
Gotcha.
Like, I was eating some candy last night. I love Lent candy. And so I'm like, eating one. So I said, I'm only going to have 3. They're little, I'm only going to have 3. Before I know it, I was on 6. But then I put the bag down and I'm like, okay, what is happening here? But I used to be fearful of having that conversation with myself. I wouldn't say, okay, what are we doing here? So I put the bag down, like, okay, what is happening here? Why are you eating more and more and more of these?
Wow.
You're bored. Go back upstairs and clean.
Yeah,
right.
You got stuff to do. Go upstairs and go clean. This is what they talk about when they talk about idle hands and that kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So I think it's the switch in that sense absolutely happens. But when you get to a place where you understand the difference between the conscious and the unconscious eating,
it changes the game.
That's the deal, though, that most people don't want to deal with that. It's easy for us to deal with something on the outside, so we can see all of this in other people, but to actually do that, to say, hey, I have to sit down and I have to write this out about myself.
Right.
We're not taught that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We're not taught to
how to deal and communicate with each other in that mindset.
with ourselves.
Exactly.
With ourselves.
very true.
Exactly. So that's the mind piece, right? So we get our mind straight, and that takes a lot of work. That's an everyday practice. That's an everyday practice. That's nothing that's gonna happen overnight for you. I tell people all the time when I'm when I'm dealing with clients, I tell them, I say, yo, this is a daily thing. You have to these steps and methods I'm giving you for communication or how to be transparent with each other. This is something you have to practice deliberately. It just ain't gonna pop up when the situation arises.
No.
If it's not a part of your everyday conversation, then this won't happen when it needs to happen.
Absolutely.
In the case of a serious moment or we having a serious discussion. So when we get our mind straight, we move to the body, right? Or do you go body first? Or you get the soul straight first?
No, I'm looking for mine. So when somebody first sits down with me, I'm asking them why.
Okay.
And the why can't be
like why you here?
Why you here?
And
why
it can't be I want to fit this dress.
It can't be that.
That ain't
because
enough.
that's fleeting.
No, it's not enough.
That's fleeting.
Okay.
That's fleeting.
That's
It
real
has to
talk.
be. It has to be why are you really doing this? Yeah.
And then so once you figure out the why.
I got a question though.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, because before you take the step you're about to take, I just want to know when they can't articulate that to you. Do you attempt to dig deeper, or
I absolutely tend to dig deeper.
Okay.
I have to, because if we don't establish some sort of substantial why, we're going to be back talking about the same things in 2 weeks, a month. We have to dig deep for that why.
Okay.
So for instance, my why is I watched my grandmother pretty much kill herself, diabetes, right? I watched my other grandmother Alzheimer's, my aunt Alzheimer's, all the men in my family high blood pressure. So when I think about my why, I think about them being sick and watching them just crumble.
And you not wanting that life for
and
yourself.
me not wanting that life for myself or anybody that's looking up to me.
Got you. Wow, that's amazing.
Do you ever tell anyone no if they're not able to articulate their why?
Yeah, because I want to work with people that know their why.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, at first, when I was starting a business, I would have took you on. I was hustling and grinding. I didn't understand all of that. This has been years in the making to understand that people need a why. They must have.
They must.
And that's really what, I want people to hear that last part you just said, Gert, because I've actually known you long enough to kind of see that grind expand and go to something different and watch your whole philosophy change on, like, everybody ain't appropriate for LiveNow Fitness.
No, we're not.
And people don't even understand that. Just like, I tell folks that about, 40 Lessons Life. I'm not appropriate for everybody because my journey, my story, what I know, how I know to feed you may not work for every situation.
Absolutely.
And I'm perfectly fine with telling you that.
Absolutely.
Talk about that for a piece for a minute, how everybody can go.
I mean, it's just like anything else. Like, some people go to Target, some people go to Walmart.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, you go for what resonates with your soul. And we believe in, like I said, mind, body, and soul. And we're always preaching soulfulness. Like, we want to go there. So people that want to be soulful are going to be attracted to us. People that just want, I had a client that started, I don't know, she maybe started like 3 months ago. She came to like 3 or 4 classes and she was like, I want to cancel my membership. I didn't get in my feelings about it.
Right.
I knew when I saw her in class, she's not built for us.
Right.
She came through a referral. We've done a lot of great work.
Right.
She wanted that same work, but when she got there, you could tell that she just wasn't
the culture she was looking for.
It wasn't the culture she was looking for.
Interesting.
And that happens sometimes. So we get the mind straight, and then we figure out the why, because we can't work on your body until we know what the why is, right?
Absolutely.
And so when that happens, when you figure out the why piece, tell a little bit about how the body piece goes for you, because it ain't lifting up weights and everything and LiveNow Fitness every day.
No, it's really, baby steps is what we tell people initially in that consultation where we're figuring out their why. We're saying, hey, let's take this slow.
Okay.
Because most people have come and they've been inactive, sedentary for a year, 2 years, 5 years.
Yeah, wow.
And they're sold. They look at TV, and TV is telling them, hey, get this in 30 days, get this in 90 days.
And none of that is reasonable.
None of that is reasonable. I mean, it's not real life.
Yeah,
you were really patient when you got out of shape.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
were.
You were
It took
super
you a long
patient.
time.
It took you a long
It took you a long time, actually.
You sat there eating candy
Hamburgers
and ice cream
and-
and
Girl
everything
Scout
else.
cookies,
Oh,
you know,
ice
you had to
cream.
wait for them to come out and everything.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
you took your
Cake
time
back.
with that.
Exactly.
And
you
that's
wait for the McRib to come back sometimes
Yes.
and all that.
McRib. Wow.
You wait for certain burgers to come out, you know.
Five Guys.
No doubt.
Listen.
And that's what we impress upon people, that it's about baby steps. It's a journey.
It is.
You know, there's never a destination. There's never, I'm here now, so let me chill. No,
Right.
it's for the rest of your life.
And
Day
people
in
need to
and day out.
understand that. People need to understand that. And so once I got your mind straight, and you know, I know you do the little black dress event, which is which I just think is
We're gonna add
dope.
the fellas this year.
Oh, you gonna add the fellas?
We gonna add the fellas.
I'm like, why Girton ain't getting them women married, yo? He got the perfect event.
We gonna
to
add the
get
fellas
them
this
women
year.
married. Like
Yes.
they got their little black dress on, and it's just Girton in a room full of women. I'm on Facebook hating. I'm like, yo,
them
he ain't
married.
like nobody. This is crazy.
Is that a part of the to get them married?
No,
What?
Okay, Tori, let me come Google.
Like
it.
they
It
chattel.
goes
I'm
Google.
just trying to understand.
My point
These women
is,
have achieved a milestone, and you like.
I know, but I'm saying these are.
But
these
you
are,
saying what?
These are.
But you
these are
saying what?
successful, nice-looking women who mind, body, and soul has went to a whole nother level.
Okay.
Who may be interested in meeting a man whose mind, body, and soul has went to another level.
Critical
and,
statement.
and ready to take that
Maybe.
journey. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. Are you a marriage counselor
No,
too?
I am not.
Oh, okay.
I'm always-
need to.
I'm
I just
always
need
with
to
them,
But I've
understand the
had
landscape.
some clients get married though.
Which is wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of their own volition and their own
Absolutely.
way and their
Absolutely.
own time.
Absolutely.
But get these women married like they chattel? Like this 1863
See,
again.
here we go.
Shadow.
Here we go.
Uh-oh.
We started.
I'm just
That's
trying to
our own
understand.
conversation.
But I'm trying to understand all the accomplishments that these women have just went through. So we're talking about alignment of your mind, body, spirit, your whole self moving forward consciously in the world.
Absolutely.
And the thing that you mentioned is let's get them married.
Yeah, I want the cherry. Listen, I'm a guy who's I'm rooting for love all the time.
I'm like, we got
sorry.
now a tribe of women now who are going to go out into the world and build up other women and support other women. I'm like, oh my
And
God,
they
I'm
can't
thinking
do
of
that
all the
as-
great things that
and
they're
they
going to
can't
do.
do that
But
as
the
a wife?
first thing that come out of your mouth, the first thing is
What
let's
is
get them married.
Why are you against love? What is wrong? What is wrong with a black man? Here we go. King T'Challa must speak again. Here we go. So let me remind everybody. I am King T'Challa. This is Wakanda, and I am for the upliftment of my entire culture.
Okay.
And if I can see some black queens or multicultural queens and all that good stuff, got their mind right, got their soul right, they overall healthy, which I'm gonna talk about in the 40 lesson moment in a little bit. If everything is a whole, that's a whole person there.
Okay.
Do you know how hard it is when you out here in this dating game
Yes.
to find a whole person
Yes.
to be whole with you? For you to get with and have a whole solid relationship with.
Yes.
So absolutely, I know this man and I know how he get down. And I know if them women and rocked out with him long enough to make it to the little black dress moment, I know them some whole phenomenal
Wonderful.
women that some whole
That's
phenomenal
fantastic.
men need to meet. That's all
fantastic. Saying it louder won't make you more right.
I'm just
all
saying.
I'm saying to you is before we move forward, we have not properly. I am a firm believer in sacred moments. And what I am saying is, and I'm not going to raise my voice, and I'm not T'Challa, and this is not my Wakanda. What I'm going to say to you, I am queen, though. What I will say
saying.
is
Knew that was coming.
sacred moments. We celebrate those,
Cherish
and when
that.
we're
Cherish that.
cherish that. Let's pay homage to the fact that these folks, because it is an arduous journey. It is not easy to bring that alignment. And all I'm saying, T'Challa, is can we please just take a moment to say this is wonderful. This sacred space that these women have arrived in is absolutely wonderful. And then we can turn the page eventually to have a conversation about what it might look like to match these women up with men to get married. I'm simply saying, can you, before you jump all the way to the end of the chapter, can we honor the space that we're in, this wonderful space that he's helping to create? That's what I'm saying.
And I have no beef with
say
that.
one more time that I'm against love.
Yes.
One more time.
I didn't.
One more time
put
you
that
got to say
beautifully,
it.
though. You put that beautifully.
See, you
One
missed
more
the
time.
moment. You missed the
One more
moment where I
time.
agreed with you just right
One more
there.
time.
You missed the moment where I agreed.
Because I need to make, because
Oh, okay.
y'all hard-headed. I need to make sure.
Hard-headed. Me?
Yes.
No, never.
Yes. I got to make sure I lay it down.
I don't know a hard-headed man in this.
I'm gonna leave Tori alone.
Man, I told you. Didn't I tell you? I sent everybody a text message before they came. I said, let me tell everybody about Tori before they. Any dude that's coming on the show, I send them a text message about Tori. I'm just playing. I love Tori to death. That's why she here. Tori is here, as you see, as part of the revolution. She is here to make sure everything gonna be straight. But no, man, that's the whole point of the show, is for us to have these very perspectives and opinions and ideas, and to talk about how this thing can look multi different ways. Yeah, I might want it to be one way, but hey, she just broke down very intelligently. By the way, I'm not even mad about how that is a cherished moment, and I don't want to by any means overlook what they've accomplished in that moment. So that's definitely dope. But yeah, I'm glad to hear you bringing dudes out. So anyway, I'm real happy about that, Gert. So man, what else, man? We need to know about LiveNow Fitness, man. We getting ready. We gonna wrap the segment up and move on and let you get out of here to get back to your Sunday and all that good stuff, man. But what else tell us what else you want people to know about LiveNow Fitness. You got any upcoming events, man, where we can find you at? Talk about the IG, all that good stuff.
Well, I mean, the IG is LiveNow_fitness or the Health Net Coach. That's my personal page. Okay. But just in general, you mentioned we did green earlier, so we are kicking off a 7-day challenge tomorrow. It actually starts tomorrow, and that's a gallon of water, a smoothie, and a big ass salad every day. You can eat other stuff, but you got to have those 3 staples your day.
Say that again.
A gallon of water.
I got delirious.
A gallon of water.
A gallon of water.
That sounds delicious.
A smoothie and a big ass salad.
What are the provisions for the salad?
I mean, as long
protein.
You can have protein, long as it's not covered in creamy dressings, croutons, cheese, bacon bits from the salad bar.
Is it still
think
called
vegetables.
A salad at that point?
Yeah, it's actually a salad. We've turned it into something. American has turned it into something completely different. We've changed it totally. Okay. Right, so that's kicking off tomorrow. We also have another event called Little Summer Dress, where we putting information out on that next month. Oh, wow. And we're combining that with the guys this year, since the ladies are having so much fun. What the fellas gonna wear then? Well, the fellas is
little summer dresses.
Not at all. Not in my Wakanda.
A dope summer suit.
A dope summer suit.
A dope summer suit. All right, so we're gonna have that, and we call that our gents program. Our gents
program. Oh, okay, no doubt. Tori over there getting started again. Not my Wakandas. No, they won't.
Not just your Wakanda.
Lies.
But I love it. Do you have any? Can I ask a question?
Of course you
T'Challa, before you. Do you have any favorite? If you had to pull out your top 3 recipes that you would share with folks as they are starting to kick off their healthy journey. Absolutely. Do you have 3 go-tos?
3 go-tos. Well, for me, it's pretty simple, and it's just what I just said. It's the water. I don't know if you guys follow Dr. Sebi, but
absolutely.
One of his biggest thing is the best breakfast you can have is water. Right, starting your day with water. So that's my number 1 tip. Number 2 is a smoothie, because it's super simple. Most people lead hectic lives these days, so you can throw everything in the blender, blend it up, jump in the car, and then a salad. I mean, it's easy to, again, throw that together. Your favorite vegetables, some greens, throw some protein in there, meat if you eat that, and you're good to go. So
you don't eat meat no more, huh, Dave?
I'm
you a flexitarian?
I'm a flex.
You're a flex?
I'm a flex guy. Like, if I want a wing,
you gonna get a wing?
I'm gonna get a wing.
Let me tell you, you be proud of me this week. I flexed.
You flexed?
I went from pork bacon to beef bacon. That was and let me tell you,
hey man, it's all about baby
beef
steps.
Bacon at the turkey bacon. No,
the turkey bacon at the Amish.
That maple turkey.
Listen,
I'm telling you,
that's what I had this morning.
Lord.
Now I haven't had that in a long time.
Listen.
But that joint bangs.
Now that bacon right there,
that bacon get go ham.
You don't even want that stuff at the grocery store.
You don't.
No.
I put it in the oven this morning.
Now I do that. I do get my bacon from the Amish store.
Oh, that's the place to get it.
That's the place to get it. I do get that. I mess with that maple turkey, that apple, and that
pepper
beef
turkey.
Bacon. Oh, the pepper turkey is good too. That is.
I mean, all of that turkey bacon is
delicious.
Yes,
absolutely, man. So listen, Dave, man, we're gonna get ready to close out. Before we do, man, we're gonna get into the 40 lesson moment, man.
You beat me to it.
I beat you to it.
You beat me to it. I was sitting here thinking about bacon.
Tori Strickland presents Weightless, Now available on Amazon.
I know.
I was like,
listen, yesterday
legit
Lee
thinking
came
about
to the
bacon.
house and I had cooked some bacon that morning. She couldn't get right for like 30 minutes in the crib. She was like, nothing was working. I'm like, Lee, what is going on? And it was all that we needed to do was press a power button. But the bacon had thrown her totally off. I was just like, Lord have mercy. She don't even eat it, but the bacon had the house smelling, hungry. You know what I'm
Bacon
saying?
to get you.
So,
Yes,
man,
it
listen,
will.
as I think about the 40 lesson moment, man, I was sitting here with Dave, man, it's been, it's been a pleasure, man. I really appreciate you, brother, for coming through, showing some love, having a moment with us. But what I take from what you talked about today, man, was we need to think about our whole health. Not just, it's not just about lifting weights. It's not just about running 5Ks or 10Ks. Don't just eat right, think right, feel right, love right, treat right, do all that, because you got to protect your energy, you got to protect everything, and I don't even think people really understand sometimes that could be the missing link that's going wrong in your workout. When you plateauing and you not hitting that next level that you want to hit.
You're at war with something.
You at war with something. You might want to check your energy and
Very
find
true.
out what it is that is attacking you,
No doubt.
and really do the homework to get into where you are being attacked mentally and within your soul sometimes, because sometimes those are the places that we miss. And so, man, I definitely appreciate you coming through, rocking with us, man. So everybody, man, remember, it's your whole health. And listen, if you want somebody to get your whole health together, go holler at my boy Gert. He gonna get you straight. I can work with you on a few things, but Gert get you in that LiveNow fitness studio, man, and have you bouncing that menacing ball and hopping with them rubber bands.
I love
and them
it.
TRX
Oh, do you guys
bands and all
meditate
that.
there as well? Some mindfulness exercises?
We do some mindfulness.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah,
Nice.
they got a tribe too. You should go get in a tribe. They got tribes.
We got tribe. We
they
do
should
have
go get some
tribes.
tribes. Leak is in one of the tribes. You should holler at Leak about one of the tribes. They do some
I'm
tribes.
gonna check you guys out.
Yeah, you should check my man Gert out. It's a very different way of going about fitness. I will give him that. He was responsible for a big weight loss for me back in 2012, 2013. He knocked like 40, 50 pounds off of me. And over the last 5 years, I've worked very hard at putting everything back in place. So, but my mind and my soul is well.
It's
You know
good.
what I'm saying?
But remember, your mind will start to go if you don't respect your body.
Here come Google. Here come Google.
No, that's real.
just-
That's
listen.
absolutely
Listen,
real.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna tell you something. Being pre-diabetic, especially at my age now, like
I learn
previously.
something new about you every day.
I know,
so
right?
what
I
is so going
know.
on?
I'm so phenomenal. But
Oh, my God.
but the thing about it is, like I was saying, my sugar, this fluctuation of sugar.
Absolutely.
My thoughts aren't as clear. My vision is impacted sometimes.
Wow.
Like it gets blurry. So your mind can't focus in the way that it needs to focus if your body isn't cooperating. I mean, I think that's why the universe, God, Allah, whoever you pray to, I think that's why we were gifted with the entire machine.
Absolutely.
So you just have to. I think you have to be very careful. If your mind might be sharp, but if your body is not being fed in the way that it needs to,
It's gonna affect it.
yeah.
I got a book
Yeah.
for you too. The
Let's
obesity
go.
code.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
dope.
All
So,
right.
you start reading Gert's book, you won't be eating nothing no more. I'm telling you.
cool with that. Listen.
Everything Gert give you to read and look at, you clean out your refrigerator.
I love food. Let's not get that.
I'm just not giving up ice
I've
cream.
seen your
ever.
refrigerator on Facebook, brother.
I
It looked like Whole's food in that
I love
joint.
food. Yeah.
Just good food.
Yes.
I was
Good
like,
quality food.
Gert opened his refrigerator. I was like, is that like a Whole's food in the cabinet or something? What's going on in that joint? I mean, but that's good though. I'm trying to get there. I'm slowly but surely, Gert.
Baby steps.
You'll
Baby
get there.
steps. Baby
You'll get there.
steps.
You'll
I
get
can
there.
get there. I know I can.
The 40 Lessons podcast is executive produced by Shining Starlet Entertainment. For production consults, go to www.shiningstarlet.com.
Hey man, I really appreciated y'all today, man. I enjoyed rocking out with y'all. Thank you, family, as you always watching and showing love. Listen, man, if you want to get in touch with Dave, livenowfitness.com, or you can hit him on IG at the Help Dev Coach. Tori,
You can always find me, Tori Strick, on IG.
and you know me, man. I'm your boy 40 Lessons. You can holler at me at 40 Lessons on Instagram. Be sure to hit us up at 40 Lesson Podcast at Gmail with your questions and comments. If Tori getting on your nerves or you don't like the way she say stuff
what you
to
gonna
me,
do about it?
Please send a comment and concern. I want to know that y'all riding for me out there.
Please feel free to do so, and I will eviscerate. I'm telling you, I will eviscerate.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, when we get your questions and comments, we'll make sure to send you a shout out on the show. And, answer anything you may ask us. We'll give you the best that we got. You know, we not God or the all-knowing, but what we do know, we willing to share. So, hey, man, check us out next week as we, come do this again. As always, man, you say it's yours.
Let's go.
Catch you next time.